Hey everybody, I wanted to make a quick video walking you through the recent law in California that just passed, AB-147, and what it means for you. There's been mass confusion, particularly for Amazon FBA sellers over the past 2 months. So if you're confused and you're not really sure what to do or what it means, this video is for you. But first, let's go into a little bit of history. With Wayfair passing, Wayfair was a Supreme Court case that was seen in 2018. It's now legal for states to pass economic nexus laws. And economic nexus laws are simply a way for a state to create a sales tax collection responsibility on merchants without them having a physical presence in the state, simply by meeting certain economic or transaction count thresholds. The most common threshold has been $100,000 or 200 transactions, and California had their economic nexus law come into effect April 1st, 2019, and that economic nexus threshold was $100,000 in sales or 200 transactions. So a lot of Amazon FBA sellers that met that 200 transaction count, or even e-commerce businesses, not just Amazon sellers, but e-commerce businesses, went and got registered because they met that 200 transaction count. Well, California started yanking everyone's chains, and they just changed their economic nexus threshold from $100,000 or 200 transactions to $500,000 in sales over the past year, and they got rid of the transaction count. So now we've been getting a lot of questions from online sellers that say, well, if I registered because I met the threshold, the $100,000 or 200 transaction count threshold, and I no longer meet that threshold because I'm not meeting the 500K a year of sales into California, can I now deregister? And the answer to that is a yes with an asterisk. And the asterisk here being that if you don't have Nexus in any other form in California, then you can deregister. However, many online sellers, particularly Amazon FBA sellers, have a physical presence in California, and they're doing this inadvertently by storing inventory in an Amazon FBA warehouse. So if you're an Amazon seller, you registered because of the new economic nexus laws, you might have had to have been registered anyways, and you didn't really realize it. And now you're kind of stuck because you can't deregister because you already have Nexus. Now, to muddy the waters and make this even more complicated, my apologies here. Sorry, not sorry. Not my fault. It's California's. Fiona Ma is this lady who used to run the CDTFA. And under the CDTFA, what we've been seeing is a lot of audit activity against Amazon FBA sellers. So they've been going and auditing Amazon FBA sellers for retroactive sales tax for the past 3, 4, 5 years because these Amazon FBA sellers were storing inventory in the state of California. So Fiona Ma wrote a letter to the governor saying, hey, here's my opinion on this. I believe that these small, mid-sized businesses, they don't really have a physical presence in California. The Nexus requirement should really just fall on Amazon. Amazon should be the party responsible here. It shouldn't be these merchants who have Nexus in California. So she wrote that letter back in March, and it's been sitting on the governor's desk, and it's totally up to speculation. And if you're feeling lucky today, of if the governor is going to respond. And the governor really can respond in one of two ways. He can say, oh, yeah, I agree with you. We're no longer going to go after these Amazon sellers. Which should be a really great news for Amazon sellers, or no, screw the Amazon sellers. They can't vote me out of office anyways. We're going to continue auditing them. What's going to happen depends on if you're an optimist or a pessimist here. But what I can say for certain is that AB-147 has nothing to do with this physical presence question, in particular with retroactive liabilities. So we've got a lot of clients coming to us saying, hey, AB-147 passed. I don't meet the thresholds anymore. Does that mean that this audit that's happening where they're trying to take $100,000 of unpaid sales tax from me for the past 3 years, is that going to go away? What can we do about this? And the answer is, unfortunately, no, because you had inventory in California 3 years ago. Inventory creates a physical presence. As the law currently stands, both today and retroactive. That physical presence creates Nexus for you. Now, could the governor come out and provide amnesty and say that inventory is no longer going to create, Amazon FBA inventory is no longer going to create Nexus for the merchant? It's possible. Is it going to happen? No idea. So that's something to keep in mind. Third thing I wanted to bring up in this video is that California now has marketplace facilitator laws coming into effect October 1st, 2019. So this will mean that Amazon and Walmart and eBay and Etsy and all of these marketplaces will now have to collect and remit on your behalf, collect and remit sales tax on your behalf. Now, one common question we get with marketplace facilitator states is, if I only sell on marketplaces, do I need to have a permit? Or I already have a permit, can I close my permit in the state? And the answer is a all caps, in bold, underlined, italicized. It depends. It depends on the state, depends on your situation, depends on what sales channels you're selling on. And I would like to be able to just give a blanket yes, you can. I can kind of give you a blanket yes in some states like New Jersey, but other states, the guidance isn't clear, or they have come out and said specifically, no, you can't deregister. I spoke with an auditor in California. I said, hey, do we need to continue? If we have a merchant that's only selling on Amazon, do they need to continue submitting returns, even if they're going to be for $0 because Amazon is collecting and remitting everything? She said, yeah, you still need to do it. We're seeing this sort of activity in Washington. Washington's a little bit of a different story, but they want you to continue to have your business registration open because of their B&O tax. So there's a lot of complicated variables going on here. And I would just urge and caution you that to not just jump and start deregistering all of your permits in any state that becomes a marketplace facilitator state, because there are things you might not be aware of. So if you have questions about topics like these or others, you can always reach out to us and we're happy to help. Okay, I hope this video helped clear some things up. It might have created more questions than answers, and I apologize. This is a complicated space, but if you do need help, reach out to us. Our website is thetaxbutler.com. Thanks. Bye.